Hi, welcome to MonkeyBytes. I'm Nathan on the customer success team here at NetMonkeys.
And my name is Ineta, and I also work in the customer success team here alongside Nathan.
So today's podcast is primarily around dispelling some of the myths involved with IT and managed support. A lot of customers will think that, we just sit here and push buttons and everything works fine and there's never any real issues. But Ineta and myself are going to delve into that a little bit more about the things that go on behind the scenes.
Yes, a majority of people assume that when it comes down to IT support, you go to your IT company and ask them to reset your password. And that's as far as their understanding of IT support goes.
Yep.
Obviously, we know day to day that is simply not the case. We've got a whole team that look at different tools and different softwares and products out there that make clients' lives at work seamless. And a lot of that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly that. A lot of the time when we get a request in, it will come to myself or somebody else on the customer success team, such as Ineta or Zoe. We will then pick that up, speak with our technical team, and provide a proper and correct solution to whatever the problem or the issue is. There's obviously a lot of work that goes into that, involving the technical team, cybersecurity, software, Business Central. A whole host of teams go into a conversation that is spurred from perhaps what seems like a simple question from a client.
Yeah, it's as products advance and different technologies come out, and updates to hardware come out, a lot of people think that things will just solve themselves, and that's not what happens.
No.
A lot of the time, it means that we have to go and research everything that's available, see what's out there, and then propose the best solution that works, not just for that individual, not for just that department, but also for the company as a whole and their structure and strategy moving forward. A lot of that goes unseen.
It does. A lot of it does go unseen, quite right. And back to your initial point about password resets or fixing issues. Yes, of course, we do that.
Yes.
But often if there is a reoccurring issue or something that has got perhaps a bigger pull or weight on the systems that are there, to your point, that's when we'd start looking at those solutions, those products that are going to fix this in the long term rather than a quick chuck a Band-Aid on it and move on.
Yes. And especially with, smaller companies, because it tends to be, the small to medium entities where a lot of our clients and customers, they don't necessarily have their own IT department with in-house. And because we have a whole host of different departments, so much knowledge within the company, it allows our customers to benefit from the best knowledge out there, where a lot of them wouldn't be able to have that on day-to-day basis in-house, which is a massive part of the overlook.
Absolutely is. Like you say, we've got some world-class technical heads within the business, whether that be Business Central, cybersecurity, all these things are constantly changing. And because we're dealing with it on a daily basis, we can then present that to our clients, either existing or future clients, with the up-to-the-minute solution that's going to work best for them. So another part of what we do on a daily basis is translating what the technical guys are telling us and passing that over in a way that the clients will understand the benefits of it, of why we're presenting that proposal, what the solution is, how it will affect them and their business and make their lives easier and smoother in the long run. Again, it's not about that quick fix.
Yeah.
Often the technicalities of it, people want to know, is it going to work, not how does it work? And that's part and parcel of what we do, simplifying the sometimes incredibly complex technologies.
I know, and the truth is that when someone's stressed out and something's not working on their machine, or they can't get it to work for a specific time frame that is a requirement on their part with their job, it's not an easy feat, because they don't necessarily want to hear the explanation surrounding it.
No.
They just want to know what's the solution and how quickly can they get it. And that is the large part of the IT support that we have to then translate and calm the situation down a little bit, set expectations.
Yeah.
What does that actually look like? Can we do it?
Yeah.
And at what timeframes, is that going to work for the client or not? If not, we then have to find an alternative solution.
Yes.
Put that in place and move forward with everything that we know, which isn't always the most welcome solution. I appreciate, because everybody wants what they they would prefer, but with IT and with software and with hardware, that's not always the case.
No.
You have to find something that actually works.
Yes, yeah, exactly that. The solutions that we get asked for are not always what is needed or what will fit that particular problem. So there is an element of coaching, perhaps, Yes, we understand what you're trying to achieve. However, this is the correct solution to get to that point. Like you say, most of the time that's well received, because that's why we're here. We're the technical experts, and we have the backing of our technicians who are, they know these things inside out. So again, that comes back to liaising with the technical teams on whatever the project may be, and then translating it, like you say.
Definitely. And I think especially with solutions that are out there that are prominent, a lot of people have assumptions that one fits all. And we have a whole host of different services and softwares and solutions that we look at that proves that that's just not the case.
Yeah.
You need to find something that fits you and your business and your model. And that may mean that you need slightly different solutions for different departments to fit it.
Yeah.
It's not, one solution doesn't always work across the whole business either.
No.
And a lot of that is overlooked. Hence the reason why having IT support at the tip of your fingers actually helps you find out what would benefit you the most.
Yeah. And to that point, we obviously work across different verticals, different sectors, all of whom have different needs, different wants. Are they all based on one site? Are they multi-site? Have they got mobile employees? There's a whole host of things that come into play. And again, back to your point, there's multiple departments within those organisations as well that have all got different wants and needs. So it's often a lot of the technical conversations, the building out the proposals in the background. There's a lot of work goes into that before we even get to presenting that back to the client. So it's a lot of unseen work that goes on to find the right solution that is the best fit and will give longevity.
Oh, definitely. Yes, it's not just about a quick fix. It's not just making sure that, it works today. It's to make sure that it works for months and years to come, and that those solutions are put in place before anything even breaks.
Yeah, definitely. Fix it before it goes wrong. And the future proofing as well. Obviously, we've got good visibility of what's coming in the next 6, 12, 18 months and beyond. So a solution that looks right today may not necessarily be the right fit for somebody in 12 or 18 months' time. So again, there's those considerations to take into account. Again, that's another conversation that needs to be had behind the scenes.
Oh, definitely. And I think when it comes down to your personal devices, for instance, you update your phone. We all do. We have it updated every 2. If you push it maybe 3 years. When it comes down to your work machine, it requires the same. It requires an update. It requires a renewal. But when it comes down to businesses, a lot of the time that gets pushed to the side for a little bit longer, just to allow things to run a course. But that's not always the best solution. And that's where you might see some of the frustrations happening, where the device is a bit slower, it's not accessing things right, and that's where now you need instant support.
Balancing the commercial expectations against the technology and how it's going to perform and give your business productivity. You need to be as productive as possible, and the technology is there to support you. So yeah, again, lots of conversations happen behind the scenes
Definitely.
that sometimes we as customer success are not involved with, and we get a call from a technical guy, technical department, saying, oh, this is coming down the line, you need to be aware, explain this to your customers and tell them why it's happening and what the benefits will be in making the changes.
Definitely, yes. All of our conversations mainly are driven by tech. It's by the knowledge that's behind us, by the expertise that got us here.
Yeah, absolutely. The team is growing and continues to grow, bringing on board more and more experts in specific fields. So the IT management, or the managed IT, should I say, it's not just support desk.
No, it's a whole host of different things, and with the help desk, the IT support desk, it allows us to see everything else. It allows us to help our clients on the day-to-day basis with the small and the big issues, but it also opens conversations on a whole different stream of things that they might need support on.
Very much so. The managed IT, like you say, it's not just endpoint devices, it's not just servers. There's, as everybody's aware in this day and age, the cybersecurity side of things.
Yes.
Again, we've got a very strong cybersecurity team who are forever updating clients' devices, servers, firewalls, the list goes on. But one thing that is often forgotten, the best line of defense, or one of the best lines of defense against a phishing attack, let's say, coming in via email, is the person that's sat at the keyboard.
Yes.
And another service that we provide is that security awareness training, which massively benefits when it comes to refreshing people's minds. Often you see an email coming in and it looks a little bit, I'm not sure, but having that awareness of what to look for and how to deal with it thereafter, that's great. And again,
yes, I mean, ultimately, cyber attacks and phishing attacks, they have become so good.
yeah,
As technology has advanced and as our knowledge of security has expanded, that has also come through to the people trying to hack into your systems and trying to get into your emails and trying to steal your data and your credit cards and all of that. So it's not just us learning about it, the enemy is also learning.
Very much so. And the bad actors out there, or the hackers in old money, they're not just somebody sat with a hoodie on
Exactly.
in a basement. These are corporations now, hundreds of people in a 10-story building that are all building out these phishing campaigns. It's not, they don't specifically attack a company. They will send out a massive phishing email across the board, or some form of attack that can basically knock on the door of anybody.
Yeah.
There's a lot of belief that small businesses are not really affected by these things, that they're not targeted, which they may not be targeted, but they are still connected to the internet. Therefore, they are potentially an attack surface for these bad actors.
Especially with all the information that that they have out there, a lot of people, the response that they have tends to be, and the links that they click, it tends to be emails from directors of the company. So they scrape the internet, find out who is, the top head, sends out an email posing as the boss. And then now you've got everybody locked in, and that panic and that fear sets in. And all of a sudden, your employees are responding to who they believe is you. And that's the scary part of it, is because a lot of it, it's not about knowledge. The reason why you need to refresh that and make sure that your employees know to stop, to analyze, to see, to think, instead of just acting, is because that is such an innate response.
Yeah.
So many people fall for it.
They do.
Every day.
There's an urgency to the way that the emails are written. You know, oh, I need this sorting out before noon today. Can you get on with? And people just jump in and they don't actually look into it. You know.
No, and the moment that finance receives that kind of email, where guess what, every finance person has received an email. Can you just make this quick transaction today? Because it does happen.
Yeah.
It only takes the one time for it to go really wrong.
Yeah.
And we have put systems in place and training in place, and we use the best tools to make sure that our clients don't fall for it, and the employees are aware of what's out there.
So yeah, as well as the phishing attacks, there's obviously ransomware, which is a huge thing nowadays. We've seen in the news some of the biggest companies in the world have been attacked and been essentially locked out of, if not the whole system, definitely large portions of it. The ransomware is, as the name suggests, you know, they get into your system, they lock you out, they ask for money to unlock it.
Yes.
And this has happened across the globe to large companies, small companies, everybody in between. Again, it's not always a targeted attack. It can just be some ransomware that sneaks into your network via the internet, via somebody clicking a spurious link. Again, that comes back to the human in the chair being a good line of defense.
Definitely.
But you can be exposed in many different ways. Obviously, we've got the tools and the knowledge and the cybersecurity experts in play to be aware of the latest ransomware threats. And with the managed security services that we've got, we are monitoring things 24/7.
Exactly.
All the time, making sure that nothing is getting through the door. So yeah, I mean, that's a kind of potted version of managed IT services and the other things that come into play with it. So thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. Nathan, customer success team from NetMonkeys, alongside
Ineta. I hope you had fun and learned something, or just enjoyed the chat.
Thank you.
Bye.